Hey, what's up, you guys? How are you doing? Happy Tuesday. Excuse my eyes. My eyes are not liking the weather change, and I refuse to take my Zyrtec. So, that being said, let's keep going. I was flipping through the internet like usual, and this pastor came on named Geno Jennings. I really like him because he's that hellfire preaching pastor, like military sergeant looking dude, and I just like him for being who he is. Anyway, and he was talking about jealousy, and it made me think. He gave a Bible verse, and it actually took me to a place in the Bible that I've literally never been. So what better time to go into it than now? It's the Song of Solomon. Now, I didn't notice it as saying the Song of Solomon. In my Bible, it's called the Song of Songs, but that's what it's referring to. So your Bible might say something different or read a little differently than that because of how many times it's been printed. But the Song of Solomon 8 verse 6, okay, says that jealousy is as cruel as the grave. Now, of course, it's a longer, verse, but when it said jealousy was as cruel as the grave, and I'm referring to my notes, of course, always for you guys, right? It talks about how it's basically comparing the destructive nature of jealousy to the finality of the grave. Let's say that together. The destructive nature of jealousy compared to the finality of the grave. Okay, that's harsh. That's the end. I mean, the grave is the last stop for your physical body. And it made me think about all the times where I've made videos, and I read through all your comments and I try to at least respond to all of them. But I often, over the past, like going on 4 years now, I've gotten, and it never fails, I get a lot of comments where people are desperately wondering what went wrong, okay, between them and that narcissist. But they treated me like I was perfect. They showed me off. They did this. It seemed like they liked being around me. Like they always, kind of took me places or whatever, right? I was like the perfect person. I have no idea what could have went wrong to where me being the perfect person to them changed in their psyche, right? What you just said is the answer. Because you were the perfect person, that's the problem. See, what people fail to remember or realize, because it's not common as well as far as like normal, or not say normal, more sane individuals would not think like this. But we're not talking about a sane individual, are we? We're talking about sociopaths, psychopaths, and narcissists, right? Which are sometimes one and the same. They usually go, hand in hand. Okay? So narcissists are jealous because you're the perfect person to them. Narcissists are jealous of you. And what people don't think about is that you might be a man dating a woman, or you might be a man married to a woman. And you think to yourself, why would a woman can't be jealous of a man? That's bullshit, right? No, it's actually not. A woman can absolutely be jealous of a man. Is that egregious? Yeah. Is it weird? Yeah. Is it gross and strange? Yeah. Right? Is it kind of borderline scary? Because, like, it's a woman jealous of someone that's not even in her same sex? Yeah. Can a man be jealous of a woman? Yes. I learned that the hard way via my last relationship. I never heard of that. I've never heard of a straight man being jealous of a woman, but then that gives you the answer right there. Most narcissists are not straight. Most narcissists are polyamorous, and they're usually pansexual. Pansexuals will try anything with anyone. It doesn't matter if you're a tranny. It doesn't matter if you're gay, straight, bi, lesbian, whatever. They're down with everything. Transgender, everything, okay? Pansexual. And most narcissists are pansexual. So where you're looking at this man as a woman, and you're like, he can't be jealous of me. No, baby. He is absolutely, not only can he is jealous of you. What about me can he be jealous about? He's jealous about every single thing about you. The way you do your hair. The way you don't care when you don't do your hair. The way you don't care and have confidence when your hair isn't done. He's jealous of the way you make friends. He's jealous of the fact that you don't care whether you have friends or not. He's jealous of the job you do. He's jealous of whatever your craft is. Okay? He's jealous of how people accept you in society. Whether people say hi to you on the street or whatever. He hates that shit. Same with you men. That woman, yeah, she was jealous of you. You got that good job. Yeah, she hates your guts. Even if you're paying all the bills. Because it's not her with a good job. It's you with a good job. What about people out there? Because I know that people out there, they're probably thinking the way I used to think. I'm a single mom. I'm this, I'm that. What is there to be jealous of? Like, who won my life, right? No, and wrong. You got men out there that will be jealous of a single mother because he came from a shitty mother. And she was a single mother. And the way that she allowed them to get molested by her boyfriends and significant others and things like that. The way she maybe didn't cook or didn't feed her kids. The way that they halfway didn't know where the fuck she was and was raised by their television set instead of a mom. And they look at you and you're out there raising your kids, home cooking dinners, making sure they're clean, sacrificing for them. They hate you because you're a reminder that their mother, their own mother, could have and should have, but didn't do better. Okay? Yes. Trust me, stop thinking that because you have what you think are flaws, other people would give a round of applause to. Okay? You're just not thinking about it because you're in it, because you want better, because you're trying, right? But those narcissists out there, baby, they're jealous of you. And jealousy breeds hate. Jealousy breeds hate. Narcissism cannot exist without jealousy. And hate comes from jealousy. So much that it is, like it said in Song of Solomon 8:6, it is equivalent to the finality of the grave. And it brings me to this point. Why do you think that there are so many incidences of men throwing acid, or women? Because I've seen too many cases. But here's a few. There was a girl with a best friend. I mean, her bestie, baby, right? Her bestie there for everything, blah, da, 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 da. One night, this woman is walking home like she usually does from work. She gets about a block and a half away from her home, and she hears footsteps behind her. So she starts walking faster, right? She turns around finally to be like, what is going on? Psh, acid in her face. Now, who turned out to be the acid thrower? And she's permanently damaged, obviously, because it's acid melting the flesh off of your face and eating through it to the bone. Her best friend. Why? Because she was just too pretty for her best friend's approval. Jealousy breeds hate. And when it talks about the grave, it either kills the victim or makes them wish they were fucking dead. Or it is an attempt on your life, okay? That girl, her whole everything is fucked up forever because one raggedy bitch didn't look like her. That's the same with you and these narcissists. When you start thinking about stuff like that, I want you to remember another story. Now, you might be younger than me, but there was, I want to say back in the day, maybe like at least a good 9 years ago, at least a good 9 or 10, there was this infamous video of this lady, poor, black chick, young black chick, cute. She got away from her abusive ex. And your narcissist, your ex-narc is abusive. Whether it's mentally, physically, emotional, spiritual, physical, all of the above, unfortunately, financially, right? So she got away from him. She worked at T-Mobile. Now, she worked at T-Mobile alone. She must have been a manager because she was in the store alone. She opened the store. She got to work. Of course, he knows her hours, right? Of course, he doesn't have shit better to do because narcissists, most of them don't have anything to do except for watch you. Out of what? Say it with me. Starts with a J. Jealousy. He walks in, looks around, walks in there, and sets her on fire. And because she was working alone, which he knew because he's been watching her and was in a relationship with her, she had to bump into things inside of that T-Mobile box, a glass freaking box of a store, on fire. I believe she even lost her nose and things like that. That stemmed from jealousy. Was that a girl on girl jealousy attack? No. That was a man that she was romantically involved with at some point. So jealous that he was jealous of her potentially finding somebody else. She didn't even have nobody else. She was just going to work, right? But the jealousy that they have of what you might do, they'll fuck you up over it. Here's another one. Here's one of my own. Okay? Here's one of my own. When I got away from my ex-narc and I went full-blown no contact, while he was in the midst of hacking my emails and things and all my electronic devices, he kept emailing me. I would get emails to pop up. And it said in the middle of the night, come outside, come out back, because there's two entrances to my apartment. There's like out back where the trash is, and there's out front where whatever the mailboxes are. So he wanted me to come out back where the trash, where the trash cans were. I'm like, I'm ignoring this shit. Here comes another bing. Here's another email. Come out back, right? He wanted me to come out back. When I didn't come out back after like 30 minutes of ignoring those emails, in comes this email. It says, we, not just him, we, as in the demons inside him, plus the new supply that he had, we were going to throw this in your eyes. He didn't send me a picture, but it implied there was a substance, liquid, whatever. We were going to throw this in your eyes and blind you, bitch. Right. Because I make art, right? So instead of you just learning from me to make art, your jealousy of me being a good artist made you show up in the back of my apartment where me and the children live, right? Okay. And try to coax me out back by dumpsters so that you could throw a mysterious liquid into my eyes to blind me on purpose. Because it stems from what? Jealousy. Right? Why do you think men in other countries and in this one throw acid in women's faces when they don't want to be married to them anymore? When they don't do something that man wants them to do? I bet they do it because that woman's parents are richer, or maybe their parents are still together, or maybe that woman's well liked, or maybe she has a craft, or whatever it is. Maybe she's just really pretty, dude. But they'll throw acid in her face to where she needs to go to a sanctuary and learn how and get a psychotherapist to cope with what she now looks like. Whatever's left of that. Because of jealousy. So the next time you start thinking backwards and you go, oh, I wonder what happened, what went wrong, but I was such a great person, I was such a cool person. Stop. Stop and think of these stories. Remember them, because jealousy is equivalent to the finality of the grave, and you dodged a bullet and probably dodged one literally. Anyway, I love you guys, and happy Tuesday. It's a little dreary out here, but who gives a shit? This is October. My favorite month. Anyway, bye.